Praise be to you, Yahuwah my Elohim. Praise be to your Son, Yahushua my Messiah. I come at your feet in the name of your Son. Thank you for the knowledge you pour unto me, and thank you for breaking all the shackle that was bound on my face. Yahuwah, you are the only true living God. Thank you for your Yahushua, whom you truly love. You are Elohim, the Elohim of the Yahudim.
Shalom, family. This is the Remnant Awakens, and I'm your brother, Pierre Ligi. We're diving into something profound today, something that touches both the body and the soul. Have you ever wondered what happens, really happens to your body when you choose to follow the Torah's food laws? You know, the instructions laid out in Genesis, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy. It's not just about avoiding pork or shellfish. It goes so much deeper than that. This is about reconnecting with the Creator's design, aligning our bodies with a higher purpose. And when you think about it, it's a beautiful reflection of obedience and faith, right? I mean, think about Genesis 1:29. A call back to the garden, or Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, where the Most High lays it all out. These aren't just ancient rules, but a guide, a blueprint for blessing and health today. So, grab your sifa, your journals, whatever helps you tune in, and let's get into this. Let's uncover the mysteries of the Torah food laws together. So here's the thing. Yahuwah didn't just create us and leave us to figure it all out on our own. He designed our bodies intentionally, every single part, and then gave us a manual. You see, in Genesis 1:29, it's clear. The Creator didn't just call the plants good. They were specifically designed for us, for our nourishment. It's amazing, right? And then Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14 take it a step further. They are like a detailed blueprint, a user guide for these temples we call bodies. I mean, think about it. When Yahuwah says, this is clean, this is unclean, He's not just making rules. He's showing us what works for our bodies and what doesn't. It's not just spiritual, it's biological too. You ever wonder why He gives us these distinctions? It's because He knows how our bodies operate, what they're capable of, and what would harm them in the long run. It's like when you buy something new and the manufacturer tells you, hey, this is how you use it. Ignore the instructions and, well, things break down faster. And you notice how often these instructions come with blessings? Obedience brings health. It brings alignment, like this holistic kind of alignment. It's not just physical fitness, it's spiritual wellness too. The Torah didn't come out of nowhere. It's always been about life, sustaining life, enhancing life, ours and the world around us. So, when Yahuwah lays out these laws, it's worth paying attention. He's literally saying, this is how I made you, and this is how you thrive. The logic of Genesis, the clarity of Deuteronomy, it all comes together. You see? And that's just the start. Okay, so let's break this down. What exactly are these Torah food laws? What makes something clean or unclean? Well, first of all, it's not random. Yahuwah is precise, specific. He tells us, clean animals. They chew the cud and they have a split hoof. Simple, right? Think about cows or lambs. These are animals that meet those criteria. They're set apart on purpose, designed for us to consume, for nourishment. And it's fascinating too, because it's not just about food, it's about order. The Most High loves order, you know? Now, take a moment to think about the opposite. Unclean animals. They don't fit this design. Pigs, for example, they might have a split hoof, but they don't chew the cud. It's like one aspect might seem right, but it doesn't meet the whole standard. That's key. And when we compare it to clean animals, you start to see a deeper pattern, a bigger purpose here. It's not arbitrary, it's purposeful. And this principle, it's consistent throughout Scripture. Yahweh isn't gonna confuse us. He lays things out so clearly. Look at Leviticus 11. All those details serve a purpose. The Creator is reinforcing this idea. Some things are good for us, and some things, well, they're just not. It's such a beautiful system. When you think about it, it's like the ultimate way of caring for His creation, guiding us in even the smallest aspects of life down to what's on our plates. I mean, isn't that amazing? Here's where it gets interesting. Family, the physical side of following Torah food laws. Let's start with the basics. When Yahuwah says, don't eat pork, don't eat shellfish, we might think, all right, okay, just a rule. But there's a reason for it, you know. Pork, for instance, it might be tasty for some, but it's also a host for parasites, bacteria, and even toxins. Pigs don't sweat, so all that stuff, the bad stuff, it builds up in their system. And when we eat it, well, we're taking that in too. It's like we're introducing pollution into our bodies, our temples, and then there's shellfish. Think about it. Shrimp, crabs, lobster. They're bottom feeders, right? They clean the ocean by consuming waste, toxins, and even bacteria from the water. So when you put that on your plate, you're feeding your body with the very toxins they were meant to filter out. It's a cycle. It's like the Creator programmed them for one purpose, but eating them goes against it. When you cut these foods out, you're not just avoiding unclean animals. You're also protecting your health, your body. It reduces the intake of harmful contaminants, and over time, you begin to feel the difference. More energy, fewer illnesses, a body that aligns with how it was designed to function. Less toxins means less strain, and it's almost like you can feel your body thriving with proper care. And the beauty of it, it's not just physical. Yes, you're avoiding diseases or parasites, but there's a deeper message here, a spiritual lesson. It's like Yahuwah is saying, I care for you from the inside out. Trust me. All right, family, let's dive into this. When we talk about obedience, especially to the Torah food laws, we're not just talking about physical health benefits. There's something much deeper, something, spiritual. Exodus 15:26 is clear. Healing comes with obedience. The Creator says, if you diligently heed the voice of Yahuwah, your Elohim, and do what is right in His sight, I will put none of the diseases on you which I have brought on the Egyptians. For I am Yahuwah who heals you. Think about that for a second. Healing. It's tied to obedience. It's tied to trusting in His design. And this isn't just a promise about avoiding physical illness. It's about spiritual alignment too. When we obey, we're stepping into agreement with His will, His way, and his heart for us. And honestly, it's humbling, right? To realize that the creator of the universe is saying, I've got you, I'll take care of you, but trust me on this. It's not about rules for the sake of rules. It's about relationship, a connection so deep that when we follow his ways, there's healing, not just in body but in spirit, in mind and in heart. When you choose obedience, the spiritual shifts are undeniable. It's like you're no longer just eating to survive or satisfy cravings. You're participating in something sacred. And that changes how you see the world, how you see yourself, how you approach every choice. It's this kind of awakening, like your spirit begins to prosper because you're in alignment with him. And you realize obedience isn't a burden. It's a gift that brings life, restores life. Exodus 15:26. It's a declaration of that promise. When he says he's the one who heals, it's not just a future hope. It's a present reality when we walk in his ways. All right, family, let's talk truth. Babylon taught us to love the stuff that destroys us. It's no secret, right? The world has made it normal, even celebrated, to consume foods that harm our bodies, disconnect our spirits, and lead us away from the Creator's design. Think about it. When was the last time you saw mainstream culture push something that truly aligns with Yahuwah's ways? I mean, it's wild, right? Instead, they glorify junk, processed foods, unnatural additives. It's all about instant gratification. They've taught us to crave what doesn't sustain us. Do you ever wonder how it got this way? It's by design. Babylon thrives on keeping us disconnected, out of alignment, unhealthy, in body, mind, and spirit. They drown us in choices that feel good for a moment, but leave us broken over time. And honestly, how many of us have fallen into that trap? I know I have. But here's the thing. Breaking free isn't easy. It's not, because they don't just program us through food, but through culture, through media, through this idea that we deserve to indulge. But at what cost? You see, when you look at the Torah food laws, it becomes clear. Our Creator gave us a path to life, to fullness, but Babylon took it and flipped it upside down. They replaced order with chaos, health with sickness, respect for creation with exploitation, and we've been living in that cycle, haven't we? And it's not just the obvious stuff, like fast food or sodas. Even things we think are healthy can be traps. Labels like natural or organic don't mean they honor Torah guidelines. They've clouded our vision so much that most of us don't even question it anymore. We just accept it like, well, that's life. But family, it doesn't have to be. Honestly, it's like this whole system, this bondage, is designed to separate us from the simplicity and purity of what Yahuwah has already given. The more we buy into Babylon's way of eating, the further we drift from the Creator's perfect plan for us. And when you start to reject it, when you say no more, it's powerful. It's a rebellion, a reclaiming of what was lost. You're not just making better food choices, you're breaking chains. That's what we need to realize. It's deeper than diet. It's about freedom, about coming back to the truth of Yahuwah's instructions. You know what's powerful, family? Hearing what happens when people decide to trust Yahuwah's design with their eating. You've got folks out here who used to struggle. I'm talking about chronic illnesses, fatigue, all kinds of stuff. And then They make the choice to follow the Torah food laws, and their lives quite literally change. One sister shared her story. She had been dealing with inflammation for years. Doctors couldn't figure it out. They just kept, prescribing more medications. But when she started cutting out unclean foods and following the guidelines in Leviticus and Deuteronomy, everything shifted. The inflammation went down, her energy came back, and she started to feel like herself again. Isn't that amazing? And there's this brother. He said he didn't even realize how much the food he was eating was dragging him down until he stopped. Pork, shellfish, all the things the Bible warns us about. He let it go, and in just a few weeks, he noticed his mind was clearer. His heart felt lighter. It wasn't just his body healing, it was his spirit too. Another family talked about how they began eating according to the Torah as a household, and their kids, they weren't complaining about feeling tired or sick all the time anymore. They started enjoying meals together that honored Yahuwah's word, and that healed more than just their health. It brought them together in a new way. That's the kind of testimony that gives you chills, right? And this isn't just isolated stories. There's a pattern here. When we align with Yahuwah's instructions, when we honor the way He set things up, there's blessing. Physical, spiritual, even emotional. These testimonies aren't coincidences. They're evidence of the Creator's faithfulness to His word. Family, at the end of the day, this isn't a diet. It's a design. It's the Creator saying, here's how I made you. Here's how you thrive. You see, it's all connected. The physical, the spiritual, the emotional. When we follow His ways, we're stepping into alignment with something so much bigger than ourselves. And I get it. Living in a world that glorifies everything, the Torah warns against. It's not easy to make that shift. But the beauty of it, the moment you start, the moment you say, I'll trust your design, Yahuwah, something changes. It's not just your body that begins to heal, it's your heart, your mind, your soul. Isn't it amazing to know that the one who made the stars, the seas, and every living thing also cares so deeply about what's on your plate that He gave you a guide, not out of restriction, but out of love? Think about that. It's love, family. Love that says, this is for your good, for your life, for your freedom. So, the question isn't just, what happens to your body when you follow the Torah food laws? The real question is, what happens to your life, your purpose, your connection with Yahuwah? Because when you walk in His ways, you're not just thriving, you're testifying. You're declaring with every bite, I trust you, I honor you, I align with you. And on that note, family, that's all for today's episode. I'm Pierre Lidji, your brother from the tribe of Yehuda, and this is The Remnant Awakens. If this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video so it reaches more people. Subscribe if you're awakening to truth, and comment below with what stood out to you most. And if you know someone still sleeping, share this episode with them. Until next time, Shalom. See you all on the next episode.
Praise be to you, Yahuwah my Elohim. Praise be to your Son, Yahushua my Messiah. I come at your feet in the name of your Son. Thank you for the knowledge you pour onto me, and thank you for breaking out the shackle that was bound on my face. Yahuwah, you are the only true living God. Thank you for your Yahusha, whom you truly love. You are Elohim, the Elohim.